Every girl Julian Sterling dated looked just like me. Yet the day I returned to New York, he wore a mocking smile.
After seeing so many knockoffs, the real thing seems pretty basic.
Last month, he cut off all his side pieces, keeping only an innocent college girl around one who looked nothing like me at all. Julian thought my sudden return meant I was finally terrified of losing him. But I didn't come back to beg. 5 years passed in the blink of an eye. While he scoured the world for my clones, I was already pregnant with my second child. On the day I got back, Grandpa Sterling threw a welcome home dinner just for me. At the banquet, Julian was nowhere to be found. His cousin Leo eyed me with disgust.
Didn't you swear you'd never set foot in the Sterling estate again? Why the sudden panic the second Julian finds his true love?
I froze. Well, good for him.
Hypocrite.
Leo gave a tight smile and pointed toward the foyer.
Julian is here. If you want to put on a show, save it for him.
Julian wore a charcoal button down, the top buttons undone. After 5 years apart, he seemed much more put together than I remembered. He took the empty seat right next to mine. I turned my head and immediately noticed the faint lipstick smudge on his collar. Sitting at the head of the table, Grandpa Sterling remained completely oblivious, musing.
You two have been at each other's throats for 5 years. That is long enough. When are you renewing your vows?
I didn't say a word. Julian, however, let out a dry laugh.
Grandpa, my girlfriend already hates the idea of me having an ex-wife. If she heard you say that, she'd flip.
Grandpa Sterling's face darkened.
Can any girl out there even hold a candle to Elena?
This time is different.
Julian said, shooting me a sideways glance.
This time, I am serious.
Bullshit.
Grandpa was so mad, he sputtered. Everyone else at the table turned to look at me, some with pity, others just waiting for the drama to unfold. I looked down at my plate and said quietly, Grandpa, I appreciate it, but there is absolutely no way Julian and I are getting back together. Nobody expected me to be so completely shut off to the idea. After all, they had all watched me take a bullet for Julian back in the day. Snap. The stem of a crystal wine glass snapped in half. Julian slowly wiped the blood from his palm.
My hand slipped.
It took me a while to realize my phone was blowing up. The old college group chat was going crazy.
Elena, how could you keep something this massive from us? Congrats, Julian really went all out this time. OMG, I knew you two would find your way back to each other.
Confused, I scrolled up through hundreds of texts before finding Julian's big announcement in the chat. He was getting married, complete with a picture of the engagement ring. It was a flawless teardrop pink diamond, the kind of rock that would make any girl lose her mind. After a second's thought, I typed back to clarify. Julian isn't marrying me. The barrage of texts stopped for a second, then started flying even faster.
Duh, what reunion? You guys never even officially broke up. Just a long distance, rough patch, right? LOL, Elena, we get it. Play hard to get.
Until Julian suddenly added a new number to the chat.
Everyone meet my fiance, Lola. She is young, but she has got a temper, so go easy on her.
Before he could finish, another text popped up from her number.
Don't listen to him. I am super chill.
Someone sent a voice memo, and I could hear Julian's indulgent laughter in the background. Some brave soul started a separate side chat and bluntly asked Julian,
Jay, if you are marrying this new girl, what happens to Elena?
Julian texted back instantly.
If you are so worried about her, you date her.
Man, if you keep talking like that, I might actually shoot my shot with Elena.
Julian ignored him, and the guy started roasting the dude for thinking he had a chance. He doubled down.
Who wouldn't want a piece of a prize like that?
The chat went dead silent. Then Julian casually dropped another text.
Even the best steak gets boring if you eat it every single day.
The group gave Julian crap for being stubborn and invited me out for drinks the next night. But when I showed up at the lounge, Julian and his new girlfriend were already in the booth. The guy who organized it looked super uncomfortable and muttered,
Jay insisted on coming. He didn't tell me he was bringing her.
I just nodded, not really caring. Lola wasn't shy at all. She immediately worked the room and then glued herself to my side.
Elena, he told me everything about you guys. It is totally fine. I don't mind. I literally begged him all night to let me meet you. You look way better in person than on Instagram. You don't look 7 years older than me at all. What is your skincare routine? You must spend hours on it. Do you only use Almer?
One of the guys couldn't take it anymore and shot Julian a look.
Aren't you gonna rein her in?
I wouldn't dare.
He chuckled, pinching Lola's cheek.
The princess gets whatever she wants.
Damn right.
Julian used to be so good at sweet-talking people when we were kids. But as he grew up, everyone kissed his ass, turning him into a spoiled, arrogant jerk. I hadn't seen him baby anyone like this in years. Lola stuck her tongue out at me.
Sorry, Elena. I didn't mean to sound bitchy.
She grabbed 2 shot glasses of tequila and shoved one toward me.
Let me make it up to you. Cheers.
With that, she threw hers back in one gulp, but I didn't have the energy to fake it. Sorry, I am not drinking. Lola's eyes instantly welled up with fake tears.
Are you acting like you are too good to drink with me?
Julian's voice dropped to ice.
Elena, I've let you get away with way too much disrespect, haven't I? You are drinking that shot whether you want to or not.
A mutual friend quickly jumped in to diffuse the tension.
Elena, come on. It is just one shot. We all know you can hold your liquor.
I shrugged helplessly. I am pregnant. I seriously can't drink. The entire booth went dead silent. Lola burst out laughing.
Oh my God, Elena, I've seen that excuse on TikTok for getting out of shots. You can't fool me.
The rest of the table nervously joined in the laughter.
You'd be more believable if you said you were on antibiotics. Jesus, Elena, don't drop a bomb like that. You almost gave me a heart attack.
Julian snatched the shot glass out of my hand, looking annoyed.
Fine, whatever, don't drink. You are so edgy.
Lola wrapped her arm around my shoulders, her voice dripping with sugar.
Elena, everyone says you are the one that got away for Julian. Is that true?
Her voice was so quiet, I almost thought I imagined it. Did Julian not tell you? She pouted.
He only tells me what I want to hear. I don't believe a word of it. I want the truth from you.
What was I supposed to say? I was the Sterling family's foster kid. An orphan Julian picked out of the system when he was a boy. Honestly, I was more like a stray cat he felt sorry for. A toy he used to play with. Even our first kiss happened because a teenage Julian just wanted a girl to practice on. That day, we were standing in the narrow back stairwell, our faces burning red. I couldn't speak, tears welling up in my eyes. Julian gently kissed them away.
You are crying over a kiss?
He laughed softly.
You poor thing. You are going to be crying a lot from now on.
I snapped back to the present. Nothing to tell, we're divorced. It is over. Lola covered her mouth in fake shock.
Wow, Elena, how did you keep that under wraps? No wonder Julian couldn't let you go before he met me. Want to know what he told me?
I just stared at her.
Julian said,
What are you two whispering about?
Julian leaned in. Lola kissed his cheek, but kept her eyes locked on mine.
girl talk.
Truth was, I already knew what Julian had said. Right after the divorce, I got a call from the States. The background was loud, but I knew his voice instantly.
The one that got away? Bullshit. I am just looking for chicks who look like Elena. That is it.
I don't like breaking in a new look.
It is like using the same fleshlight for years. You just get used to the grip.
Before the line went dead, a soft, breathy voice whispered into the receiver.
Did you hear that? He never gave a shit about you.
I heard it. You are not the first girl to call me, but I hope you are the last. Guess she wasn't. Lola suggested we play a blindfold game. The rules: figure out whose drink was whose by the lipstick marks. Let's start with Julian, she squealed.
If you can't pick out my glass, you are dead meat.
Julian laughed, and
Put his hands up in surrender.
someone muttered.
Never seen Jay simp for a girl like this.
Julian rarely fell for anyone, but when he did, he treated them like absolute royalty. The girl setting up the glasses rolled her eyes.
Elena, do me a solid.
The group, thirsty for drama, lined up a dozen glasses in front of Julian. He raised an eyebrow, his eyes scanning the lineup before stopping on one.
This one,
He traced the lipstick stain with his thumb, smirking.
too familiar. Definitely my future wife's.
The girl who knew the answer went wide-eyed, about to correct him. But I beat her to it. You got it. Lola stood up, glaring at Julian.
You idiot. Mine is the one on the far left. Elena, you lied. You have to take a penalty. Your punishment: put on a blindfold and pick Julian out of a lineup of 5 guys. Oh, shit.
Someone yelled. Lola smirked.
If you are going to play, you got to play by the rules. What do you say, Elena?
I let out a laugh. Sure, let's do it. With the blindfold secured, I took a few hesitant steps forward. The first guy held out his arm. The second, my fingers brushed his sleeve. I shook my head. Not him. The crowd gasped.
Damn, that was fast. How'd you know?
Because Julian would never be caught dead in a cheap polyester blend. The second guy was an easy out. Before I even touched him, the cheap cologne hit me. Julian would never wear that. The third guy made me pause. He smelled like stale cigarettes, and Julian definitely didn't smoke. But following his arm, I slowly reached up, tracing his shoulder and the line of his neck. Even through the fabric, I could feel the guy tensing up, getting more and more rigid. His Adam's apple bobbed as he swallowed hard. The room went dead quiet. I stopped. Let me check the fourth guy. The fourth guy was way too scrawny, definitely not him. Only one left. This time, I moved with absolute certainty. My fingers brushed against his cuffs, feeling the custom-engraved cufflinks Julian was wearing earlier. I said it flatly. It is the fifth one.
Wrong.
Lola ripped the blindfold off my head from behind.
Wow, guess Elena really doesn't know Julian at all. I feel so much better now.
In the dim lounge lighting, Julian was standing right in the middle, his face completely unreadable in the shadows. The third guy laughed, tossing a jacket back to him.
Elena, gotcha. We switched his jacket to throw you off.
That night, I dreamt of Julian when we were kids. He had tagged along with Grandpa Sterling to a charity drive at my group home. Spotting me in the crowd, he latched onto me and refused to let go.
Grandpa, Elena doesn't have a house or a mom and dad. I like her. I want to share mine with her.
Grandpa Sterling tested him on purpose.
If you promise to practice the violin every single day, I'll let you take her home.
Julian frowned, tearing up. He was a hyperactive terror who despised practicing. But that day, squeezing my hand, he nodded without a second thought. After that, he played until his fingers bled for over a decade, never missing a day. And I sat beside him for every single lesson. When I first moved into the Sterling estate, I was skin and bones. Julian would literally sit me on his lap and force feed me. For the longest time, we ate, slept, and lived side by side.
Eat more, Elena. You gotta get tall like me. Don't be scared of the dark, Elena. I am right here. Elena, I totally lied to Grandpa today. I told him he is my favorite. But really, you are the person I love most in the whole universe.
The Julian from my childhood was so incredibly good to me. I opened my eyes to my phone buzzing off the nightstand. It was him.
Elena, we need to talk. I know you have read receipts on. Elena, text me back. Elena.
There was an unsent message in the middle, but I couldn't see what it was. I couldn't help but tap on the familiar contact photo. How much longer until your flight? The baby and I miss you so much. He texted back instantly.
Boarding soon. We miss you more.
Julian sat in the dark, slouched on his couch, the floor littered with cigarette butts. His nicotine cravings were out of control tonight. Just hours ago, a buddy had leaned in and whispered,
Hey man, while we were playing that game, I saw a notification pop up on Elena's phone.
Those next words made Julian's blood run cold.
Jay, I think you and Elena might have a 4-year-old daughter.
The next day, Lola cornered me at Nordstrom.
OMG, what a coincidence. Are you shopping alone too, Elena?
She smiled, venting to me like we were best friends.
I left Julian at home. Whenever I try stuff on, he just nods and hands over his Amex. It is so boring.
Lola dragged me into a designer boutique.
You know, this brand, right?
She grabbed a few bags and shoved a box into my hands.
The matte ivory Birkin, very age appropriate for you.
I didn't take it. She pouted.
Come on, it is a thank you gift. Julian used to be such a player. If you hadn't put up with all his bullshit and trained him for me, he never would have been ready to settle down when we met. I grew up with nothing, so when I finally get something good, I lock it down. You, of all people, should get that, right?
I do. But with guys like that, the second you think you've won him, you've already lost. Lola smirked, looking triumphant.
You lost. I didn't.
Not only did I lose, I had been absolutely terrified of losing. Julian wasn't always garbage. When we first started dating, he wished there were 26 hours in a day just so he could spend more time obsessing over me. At the senior year graduation bonfire, everyone threw in notes about getting into good colleges. He was the only one who wrote,
I want to grow old with Elena, surrounded by our kids and grandkids.
in front of the whole class, he shouted.
The second Elena gets her degree, I am putting a ring on it.
He pressed his forehead against mine and whispered,
God, that feels so far away.
yeah, so far away that by the time we got there, everything had rotted from the inside out. The night Julian got blackout drunk, I panicked and drove downtown at 2 a.m. to pick him up. None of the guys in the VIP section noticed me standing in the doorway.
Jay, you swap out the roster again. That Instagram model you brought last week was a solid 10 hook, a brother up.
Julian, slurring his words with his eyes half closed.
Give it a few days. I gotta play house with Elena this week.
Only you could pull that off, man. Managing that kind of rotation takes serious logistics. For real, keeping the good wife at home while you are out tasting the rainbow.
Shut the fuck up. Don't you ever compare them to my wife?
Julian slurred, kicking the guy's shin.
I am just getting it all out of my system before I am locked down for good.
I never pushed the door open. I felt entirely hollow. I managed to walk down the hall before reality hit me. I sprinted into the nearest restroom and threw up until I was dry heaving over the toilet. By the time Julian got back to our apartment, I was in bed, pretending to be asleep. He kissed the top of my head.
Look at you, my little baby. Can't even sleep without me here.
He pulled me tight against his chest. I breathed in the sharp, clean scent of his body wash. I hated the smell of cigarettes. Julian didn't smoke, but he always caught the secondhand stench at the clubs. That is why he religiously showered before crawling into bed. It had never crossed my mind that washing off the smoke wasn't the only reason he needed a shower. He kissed my knuckles.
Go to sleep, baby. I am right here.
My phone buzzed with another text from Julian. But when I opened it, it was a voice memo from Lola.
Elena, Julian is being such an asshole. I just got a little jealous, and he told me he is kicking you out of the Sterling properties.
I glanced at the suitcase I had just zipped up, perfect timing. But Grandpa Sterling was livid.
I am not dead yet. Who the hell does that punk think he is running my house?
I sighed into the phone. Grandpa, it is not because of Julian. I already found a new place. Grandpa didn't buy it and immediately dialed Julian on a three-way call.
Julian, are you trying to put me in an early grave?
Did she go crying to you?
Julian sounded almost smug.
If you ever want to see your great-grandkids, you need to make her pack her bags today.
Grandpa yelled.
The Sterling estate is massive. You can put your little tramp in any of the guest houses. Why do you have to kick Elena out?
Just stay out of it.
Julian hung immediately.
That little bastard.
Grandpa Sterling's eyes were filled with a complicated sadness.
Elena, Julian just doesn't deserve you.
Grandpa, he waved me off.
Go. You should have left a long time ago.
I didn't say anything else, just gave him a tight hug. As the front door clicked shut, Grandpa muttered.
Elena, I used to be blind, always taking his side. But the truth is, there are a million guys out there who would treat you like a queen.
I knew that, because I had already found one.
Bro, have you completely lost your mind? You are throwing Elena onto the street for some random chick?
Julian looked up from his desk.
Why are you freaking out?
Leo pulled up a chair and slumped into it. I am not freaking out. I am just mind blown. Without our family's money, where is she supposed to go? Leo ranted. She is not going to pull a vanishing act to Europe again, is she?
I know exactly where she is, the Rosewood Estate.
That ultra-luxury development the Hayes family built a couple years ago.
Leo thought for a second.
Oh shit, I heard the Hayes family hair is flying back to the States this week. Paparazzi even caught him at the airport with a kid.
He pulled out his iPhone and started scrolling. Damn, it is gone. Looks like his PR team scrubbed the internet. Leo suddenly felt a weird wave of nostalgia.
Man, if you had just stayed loyal to Elena back then, your kid would be about that age by now, huh?
Julian's eyes softened.
He'd probably look exactly like her.
His assistant suddenly banged on the office door.
Mr. Sterling.
My flight out of JFK was delayed. I sat down at a terminal Starbucks and ordered a latte. Before I could even take a sip, a shadow fell over my table. Julian had his suit jacket slung over his arm, looking like he had broken several speed limits getting here from Wall Street. He took off his sunglasses, his jaw set.
Elena, are you still going to ice me out?
What is there to talk about? He lowered his voice, almost pleading.
I already know.
I just stared at him. Elena, Julian's voice cracked. You had my daughter.
Mommy.
A bright, sweet little voice echoed through the terminal. Ryan stood a few feet away, wearing a perfectly polite practice smile. Julian stared completely paralyzed at Mia in Ryan's arms. Dressed in a cute little Burberry dress, completely clueless to the tension, she waved her tiny hand at me. Ryan didn't drop his smile, murmuring.
Mia, what do we say if we want to stop for ice cream?
Mia's eyes lit up, and she threw her arms around Ryan's neck.
Daddy.
Julian's eyes instantly went bloodshot. He rigidly turned his head away. I looked him dead in the eye. It is exactly what it looks like. In the back seat of the Uber, Ryan kept rubbing his ear.
Jesus, Mia almost blew out my eardrum with that scream.
Serves you right. Who told him to provoke Julian like that? Mia parroted me.
Serves you right?
What is wrong with calling me daddy?
Ryan poked her chubby cheeks.
You little traitor. Have you forgotten who fed you when your dad abandoned you and your mom was working late?
Mia buried her face in my coat.
Uncle Ryan's cooking is gross. Mommy is the only one who loves me.
Ryan groaned.
Heartless, just like your real dad.
Right on cue. My phone lit up with a text from her real dad.
Hey, beautiful, did you get the gremlin?
Got her.
Good. Is Ryan being annoying? Want me to have him taken out?
Ryan snatched my phone, absolutely done.
Ben, if it weren't for my annoying ass, you'd still be a virgin.
Julian slammed his fist into the steering wheel of his Porsche. The car shook, a sickening thud echoing through the leather interior. Blood oozed from his knuckles, dripping onto the dashboard. After a suffocating silence, he pulled out his phone and dialed his private investigator.
Keep digging. 5 years ago, the night Elena first landed in Seattle. What the hell happened?
But, Mr. Sterling, we couldn't find a single trace of why she disappeared back then. 5 years later, the trail is completely dead.
Julian's eyes burned with absolute rage.
I said, keep digging. Find out who hacked the hotel security footage. Pull the guest list from that night, track every license plate in a 5-mile radius. How does someone just vanish off the face of the earth for 5 years?
Yes, sir.
Julian chucked his phone into the passenger seat, completely drained. His hands were shaking so badly he could barely light his cigarette. As the smoke filled the car, a violent, agonizing cough ripped through his chest, sounding like pure despair. 5 years ago, Julian was on his knees in front of me.
Elena, please, don't leave me.
He was begging, explaining it over and over.
Yes, I couldn't get rid of that girl fast enough. It is my fault she showed up and harassed you. I am a piece of shit, but I was just messing around. You are the only one I actually love. Haven't my family and I given you everything you ever wanted?
He grabbed my hands, desperate.
Listen, Elena, let's just get married. Isn't that what you always wanted? A real family, a real home? I can give you that. I swear to God, I will never look at another woman again.
Julian pressed his face against my knees, crying, his promises sounding so incredibly genuine. Grandpa Sterling cleared his throat from the doorway.
Julian, if you ever step out on her after you put a ring on her finger, I'll break both your legs myself.
Baby, please?
Julian asked, terrified, if you ever cheat on me again.
I hope I drop dead.
He swore instantly. I spent the whole day taking Mia to the aquarium. When we got back to the condo late that night, Julian was waiting in the hallway.
Can we talk?
Ryan scooped up a half-asleep Mia and whispered.
Elena, you hear him out. The kid and I will be inside.
Julian couldn't look me in the eye. His voice was strained.
I found out. 5 years ago in Seattle, you and Ryan were at the same hotel. The next morning, the security servers were wiped clean. Ryan fired half his staff and completely erased any trace of you being there. Did something happen to you that night? You didn't actually want to have that baby, did you?
Julian's face was ashen. You are wrong. Nobody forced me to do anything. I paused, and I would never bring a child into a marriage without love. That night in Seattle, Ryan had actually been drugged. He stumbled into the wrong hotel room out of his mind. But before he could even take a step toward me, I smashed a lamp over his head, tied him to a chair with phone cords, and dragged him into the shower. When Ben kicked the door in, I was holding the shower head, blasting Ryan with freezing water. Ben politely took the shower head from me.
Excuse me, allow me to handle this.
Ryan was shivering uncontrollably.
Ben, turn it off. Give me a doctor, an EpiPen, whatever. Just fix this.
Ben looked at me completely deadpan.
Don't misunderstand. I am not a medical professional, but tactically speaking, lowering his core body temperature was the correct protocol.
Oh, really? I was worried I was overreacting. Ben shook his head, looking at me with total sincerity.
Considering you were cornered by an incapacitated adult male, you were actually quite restrained.
Ryan groaned from the tub.
Shut up. I am literally dying here.
Before dragging Ryan out, Ben suggested I switch rooms.
Whatever he was slipped is likely an airborne synthetic. The second I walked in and saw you, my heart rate spiked to 130 BPM. Didn't you feel it too?
I just stared at him. Ryan couldn't take the awkwardness anymore and yanked Ben's jacket.
Bro, I drank it in a martini downstairs.
The next morning, Ryan came by to apologize and asked if I needed anything. He subtly pointed at Ben standing in the hall.
He is Dadi intelligence. He noticed you got people tailing you. He offered to scrub your digital footprint.
Ben corrected him.
Specifically, there are 3 distinct IP addresses pinging your phone's GPS. As long as you are on a public network, they know exactly where you are.
My stomach dropped. Then please help me.
It is no trouble.
Ben asked casually.
It is actually basic cryptography. Want me to teach you?
Are you allowed to do that? It had been years since anyone had offered to teach me anything. That afternoon, I left Seattle with them. Once the private jet hit cruising altitude, the sky outside was a blanket of stars. Ben silently handed me a tactical handkerchief. I looked at him, confused. He pointed awkwardly at the window reflection.
Why are your eyes leaking?
In the glass, my face was streaked with tears. I whispered, because I used to think I was a shooting star that crashed into the ocean. Once I lost my anchor, I thought I'd drown in the dark forever, but it turns out being lost at sea isn't scary at all. Ben thought about it analytically.
You don't resemble a meteorite. Meteorites smell like combusted sulfur and ozone. You smell lighter, like the breeze in a summer valley.
Elena stopped lying to me. Her last name is Vance. The Hayes family never even put her on their trust fund. If he didn't force himself on you, why would you have a bastard child?
Mia is not a bastard. I snapped. Her father isn't Ryan, she is my daughter, so she took my maiden name on the birth certificate. In October, the year I left, her father and I got married at the courthouse in California. She was born the following July. But what does any of this have to do with you? Julian's eyes widened in horror.
We were divorced for less than 2 months and you immediately married someone else and got knocked up.
Yes.
I don't believe you.
Why? Because you couldn't even make it 2 months into our marriage without sleeping with someone else. Julian went completely mute. I spoke to him like a stranger. People move on, Julian. Go marry Lola and leave me alone. Julian started laughing, tears spilling over his eyelashes.
Right? People move on.
His laughter got louder, hollow, and agonizing.
Elena, there really is no going back for us, is there?
After that night, Julian disappeared. At the end of the month, I was at Mount Sinai for my OB-GYN appointment and bumped into an old sorority sister. She pulled me aside, whispering about the massive scandal at the Sterling estate.
Julian totally dumped that young chick. She showed up at the Sterling mansion screaming and crying, claiming she was pregnant. Julian was completely dead inside. He said he'd pay for the kid, but flat out refused to marry her. Grandpa Sterling had a stroke over it and threatened to cut him out of the will. Didn't he literally just say she was the love of his life? But, Julian, he has always been toxic. Didn't he pull the exact same crap with?
She caught herself looking mortified.
Oh my God, Elena, I am so sorry. I didn't mean it like that. Anyway, how are you? Why are you at the maternity ward?
She noticed the sonogram in my hand and gasped.
Shut up. You are pregnant.
I smiled and nodded. 10 weeks. I am so thrilled. It is my second. To my surprise, she actually started tearing up.
Elena, I am so happy for you. Honestly, a lot of us always thought you deserved way better.
On the drive home, a smile lingered on my face. But when I unlocked my front door, I found Lola slumped against the wall in the hallway, my potted plants smashed on the floor. She gave a manic smile.
Wow, Elena, you really played everyone.
Something was seriously wrong with her. I kept my voice calm. What are you doing here? Lola's eyes darted to the ultrasound photo in my hand. She sneered.
No wonder Julian threw me out.
This baby has absolutely nothing to do with Julian.
So what? Are you trying to rub it in my face that even when you are knocked up with some other guy's kid, Julian still won't even look at me?
Realizing she was completely unhinged, I didn't say another word.
Where is the engagement ring Julian bought?
Lola suddenly screamed.
I tore his entire penthouse apart and couldn't find it. Did you steal it?
I was totally lost. I have no idea what ring you are talking about. You are pregnant, calm down before you hurt yourself. The baby, Lola's eyes filled with pure venom. Before she could scream again, the elevator dinged and Julian stepped out. He spoke in a low, exhausted voice.
Lola, whatever this is, we'll deal with it at my place.
Julian, do you honestly think I am stupid? What place do we have together?
Just get in the car.
Julian said, his jaw clenched.
Why? Terrified I am going to spill your dirty little secrets in front of her.
A twisted, sickening smile spread across Lola's face.
Is this how much you love Elena? If she was the love of your life, why did you cheat on her every chance you got?
Shut your mouth.
Julian looked like he was being physically tortured. Lola fed off his panic, her voice rising.
I heard that on your honeymoon, she literally took a bullet for you.
And then what did you do?
You cheated on her before the scars even healed.
I said shut up.
Julian's face was purple with rage. He turned to me, panic in his eyes, stuttering like a child.
Baby, I swear to God I changed. After you walked out, I never touched another girl. I couldn't find you. I just hired them to get paparazzi photos so you'd see them and come back. The baby she is carrying isn't even mine. I only said I'd pay for it so Grandpa would have an heir and leave me alone. Baby, I swear I am a different man.
Does it even matter? Lola looked absolutely euphoric as she dropped the nuke.
Do you want to know what I found in Elena's old nightstand? A receipt from an abortion clinic from 5 years ago.
They say the weather on your first day of your honeymoon dictates the rest of your marriage. That is why Julian booked a private villa in Bora Bora. It was supposed to be 75 and sunny, absolute paradise. But less than 48 hours after we landed, we got caught in the crossfire of a local gang shootout at a restaurant. I was pinned behind a solid concrete bar, completely safe. But when I saw the bullets chewing up the plaster right above Julian's head, my body moved before my brain could stop it. I tackled him. A hollow point tore through my chest, spraying my blood directly across Julian's face. He completely shattered. He scooped my limp body off the floor, sprinting into the street like a madman, covered in my blood, screaming in a foreign country where no one understood him.
Somebody help my wife. Where is the fucking ambulance? Please, God, somebody save her.
When I finally woke up in the ICU, Julian looked like a ghost. His hands were shaking violently as he gripped the bead rails, his voice entirely gone from screaming.
Elena, don't leave me. I swear to Christ, I won't survive if you die.
Julian said he spent 3 days in that waiting room, bargaining his own soul to any god that would listen just to keep me breathing. He said if one of us had to end up in a body bag, he wanted it to be him. I believed every single word he said. I truly believed that if I had flatlined on that operating table, Julian would have put a gun in his mouth the next day. But less than 2 months later, I caught him in a hotel room with someone else. In a split second, Julian's entire world collapsed.
We had a baby?
I was terrifyingly numb. I was about 6 weeks along.
Why didn't you tell me?
Julian roared, falling to his knees, completely breaking down. Because I was never going to keep it. I refused to bring a child into a home where its parents hate each other.
But I love you.
Julian screamed, his vocal cords shredding.
Elena, I fucking love you.
Every word sounded like he was coughing up blood. A primal wail ripped straight from his soul. I looked down at him. You were so scared I'd find out. You scrubbed your clothes so you wouldn't smell like their perfume. You'd spend the entire night railing some model, and then stand in line at 6 a.m. to buy me my favorite bagels. You took your side pieces on luxury vacations, and while they were tanning, you were at the local markets, handpicking pearls to make me a custom necklace. You bragged to your mistresses about how I took a bullet for you, using my trauma as a flex to prove I'd never leave you. Do you have any idea how many of those girls DM'd me? They all felt sorry for me. Julian, I know you love me, but your love, it is a disease. I am so sick and tired of getting a pure heart from a completely rotten man. I let out a long, exhausted breath. Julian, never come near me again. Julian's face drained of all color. He shook his head frantically.
Number, no please.
This is pathetic.
Lola clapped her hands.
Julian, you really thought Elena was sitting at home crying over you dragging me through this psychotic role play? Newsflash, she never looked back. She is living the absolute dream without you. Wait, Elena, you really don't know.
Lola's lips curled into a wicked smirk.
Julian, he is dying.
Shut the fuck up.
Julian screamed. Lola just laughed coldly.
Don't worry, I am leaving.
Before she stepped into the elevator, she shot Julian a look of pure disgust.
Neither of us got the fairy tale, but at least I am going to outlive you.
Julian was hyperventilating, trying to hold himself together, terrified that the news would send me into shock. He scrambled to explain.
It is not that bad. It is just a tumor.
I looked at him blankly. What kind? Julian swallowed hard, his voice barely a whisper.
Stage 4 lung cancer.
It was jarring. I didn't know what the appropriate response was. I hope the chemo works. Julian's eyes filled with tears, his voice breaking.
Is that it?
I had nothing else to say. He stared at me like he was looking at a stranger.
Elena, you really don't give a single shit if I live or die, do you?
I thought about it. I don't wish death on anyone. Hearing that, Julian started laughing hysterically. His chest heaved violently, choking on his own despair.
You don't want me to die, but you don't care if I am alive. You are so fucking cold, Elena.
He was right. I genuinely didn't care. All I heard through the grapevine was that Lola had leaked his diagnosis to the press, and Grandpa Sterling had forcibly admitted Julian into a private oncology ward. A few weeks later, Ben was finally flying back to the States. Mia and I are picking you up at the tarmac tomorrow.
Copy that. Mrs. Hayes, insert cat wearing sunglasses emoji.
The next morning, I was practically vibrating with excitement. But then my phone rang. It was Ryan.
He was screaming.
Julian had hijacked Ryan's SUV with Mia inside. The FBI hostage rescue team was already on the phone.
Ma'am, the suspect is heavily armed.
My knees buckled. What does he want?
He wants you and your husband at the drop site.
Ryan's voice was shaking. I'll go in first. Absolutely not, Ryan barked. You'll just be another hostage. But my baby is in there. I sobbed hysterically. Ryan gritted his teeth.
We stall. We do not let a psychotic man dictate the op.
Suddenly, a blacked-out military tactical vehicle tore through the police barricades. The tires smoked as it slammed into park. The heavy steel door kicked open. Ben, still in his tactical gear covered in desert dust, vaulted out. His eyes were lethal.
Elena,
I grabbed his tactical vest, sobbing, Ben, I need my baby.
I know we play his game.
The FBI incident commander stepped in front of him.
Director Hayes, the tactical environment is totally compromised. We cannot authorize you to breach.
Ben's voice was absolute ice.
I am overriding your command. I assume full operational liability.
He ripped a ruggedized tablet from his pack, his fingers blurring across the screen. In 3 seconds, he bypassed the local cell towers, triangulated Julian's exact coordinates, and rendered a 3D ballistic trajectory map of the warehouse.
Snipers are greenlit, breaching in 60 seconds.
Ben turned to me, snapping a Kevlar vest over my chest and tightening the straps.
I am bringing you and our daughter home.
I know.
You actually showed up.
Julian was standing alone in the center of the abandoned warehouse. I panicked, scanning the room. Where is Mia? Julian ignored me, his hollow eyes locked on Ben.
So this is the guy, my guys couldn't find a single tax return on him. Honestly, he doesn't look like much.
Where the hell is my daughter? Julian still didn't answer. He slowly raised his Glock, aiming the laser sight directly at my chest. Ben didn't even blink. He lunged, tackling me to the concrete. Julian smiled. Bang! A gunshot echoed through the warehouse. A sniper round shattered the high window, hitting Julian dead center in the forehead. It was poetic. The bullet I had taken for him 5 years ago had finally found its way into his skull. He hit the floor, that same peaceful smile frozen on his face. After clearing the room, Ben kicked Julian's gun away. He frowned, popping the magazine out. Julian had loaded it entirely with blanks. We found Mia asleep in a soundproofed office in the back. The FBI brought in child psychologists. They told us to never bring up the trauma, to just let her forget it. But months later, Mia was dragging a dusty book out of a moving box. A faded Polaroid of Julian and me from our freshman year of college fluttered to the floor.
Hey, I know this guy. He played games with me.
Played games?
Yeah, we played hide and seek. He told me if I counted to 10,000, Mommy would come find me. I fell asleep counting, and when I woke up, you were there.
My blood ran cold. I picked up the Polaroid and flipped it over. Julian's messy handwriting was scrawled on the back.
I didn't break my promise this time. I hope I drop dead and you live a long, beautiful life surrounded by your kids and grandkids.
I looked down at the book. It was Pride and Prejudice. He had carved a hollow square out of the pages. Sitting inside was the flawless pink diamond ring I had seen in the group chat.